Thank you, Canon Fields. Very much appreciate this opportunity to come out and to share with you as well. So thank you for your warm welcome this morning. And also lovely to hear some West Indian voices here as well, sort of integrated and folded in. So as mentioned, my name is Barbara Trieloff Deane, and I'm a member of the West Indian community in Canada, the broader diaspora. And like many of you, I'm very involved in the community, the West Indian community, and also within the community here in Canada. So I've worked with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, mentored at Covenant House, and also worked as a volunteer with Sick Kids Hospital and a number of their fundraising initiatives. In addition to that, I have started to do more work back home in the Caribbean, and my other home, that is, as well, with the Substance Abuse Foundation. And I'd like to share with you a little bit of that story, and as well how parishioners have been supporting, and the thanks that we feel and we give to Canada for reaching out and helping in various ways, for example, through our Donate a Barrel program. So the Substance Abuse Foundation in Barbados was established in 1996 by a group of committed people who wanted to help those in need and to actually help communities by taking substance abusers off the street and often away from a life of crime and crime that they've resorted to feed their habit. As I said, we serve the Caribbean. We have our clinical director who goes to St. Lucia, Antigua, and some of the other islands as well. And we've also supported people from abroad. So, for example, we recently had someone from the UK come and participate in our program. And the Barbados Immigration actually works with us on that to be able to support. So medical tourism is the big thing, one of the big things in the world, and this is one way in which some people abroad are taking advantage of being able to come to Barbados and the program itself. So it's a growing concern, as it is here in Canada. It is a growing concern that substance abuse is destroying families, individuals, communities. And so we have I'll share with you some research just from specifically in Barbados, and this was done from the National Council of Substance Abuse, and they did a study back in 2012, and they had shared with us that the numbers or the incidents are increasing by 10% year over year. So it is a deep problem within society, specifically because the use of alcohol is a very socially acceptable and enjoyable experience. However, for some, there is no boundary with that. There is no boundary with that, and it moves into the realm of abuse. Also, polysubstance use, so marijuana, alcohol, and cocaine combined, that is actually significantly on the increase. Back in 2012, of the 1,400 people who were brought into the correctional facility, DODS, in Barbados, almost over 6% of them had come in as well. There were men between the ages of 21 and 35, and they were brought in for substance abuse, but substance abuse had linked to crime. Additional research has shown that the social consequences of alcohol and drug abuse have been well documented. Petty crime, increases in school dropout rates, and increased promiscuity and sexually transmitted diseases. So, as we know, it's a very broad and deep issue. I just heard the news this morning that a young gentleman, aged 21, impaired driving downtown here in the Bathurst area, crashed his car. So, we feel it deeply here in Canada as well. I'd like to share with you a story and then share with you how the program with the Substance Abuse Foundation specifically helps young men like this. So this is a story of Stephen and purely coincidence. Well noted, well noted. Not a bullet to my left leg. not incarceration, not the hard concrete of city streets is my bed. Feasting on scraps recovered from bins moves me like the memory of the first time my mother kissed me at age 43. As a teenager, I had turned to the streets, crack cocaine and crime, longing for affection, any kind, at any price. My biggest battle was with crack cocaine. When I got my first hit, it was the most ultimate drug I'd ever tasted, and I continued with it for over 30 years. I was around 13 years old when my curiosity about drugs was aroused, when I was driven to liming on the block. Then I roamed the beach, hustling, saying yes to anything that would bring me $1 to feed my crime, to feed my abuse, my substance abuse. It was on the beach that I was also introduced to crack cocaine that would become the bane of my life. That first experience was something that I'd never felt before. I was shy, but crack caused me to come out and to be bold. The downhill spiral of my life did not take long to reach full spin. I roamed in search of drugs, getting them from anywhere I could find them. I blew close to $3,000 or $4,000 in just about a week, all lost in feeding my habit. I took to stealing to support my habit, and it landed me in jail on several occasions, where I served between 3 and 6 month sentences. All you care about is the drug. The drug speaks for you. It controls you. Nothing else in life mattered. My final rest came when I was arrested by the police for breaking into a business, and I still have the scar from the gunshot I received. It's the constant reminder of the turning point in my life. I was given a year's sentence, and I learned to read and write at the age of 43, and then came to Verdun House. Verdun House is part of the Substance Abuse Foundation, the rehab center for men. This enabled me to finally find my place in society. With the help of my counselors, I've reconnected with my mother and have built a relationship with my sisters that had eluded me all my life. Today, my mother is one of my best friends, and today I'm married to a lady I met at church when I was getting my life back on track, and she loved me for who I was. I am devoted to helping people suffering from the disease of addiction and provide assistance at the national level through the National Council on Substance Abuse. I'm now 8 years sober, one day at a time. There are a couple of other more recent stories. For example, Marina House, which is the rehabilitation center for women. We just opened that in the past year, and 5 women among them, they have over 20 children. So when you think about the impact to family and then therefore to community, it's quite significant. One young gentleman who came to Verdun, his uncle had introduced him to drugs when he was 11 years old. Like, what chance did he have? What chance did he have? So it's a very, very pervasive disease itself. So what makes Marina House Verdun special in supporting people who are reaching out? And by the way, back in 2012, according to the research that was done, around 400 people a year were seeking treatment. The facility can only hold, Verdun, 60 people. So if you think about the breadth and depth of the issue. So Verdun House and Marina House are the main residential treatment facilities for men and women, and we offer a 3-phase program using the 12-step approach. And there's also, and this is really critical, a spiritual component to the rehabilitation program. In addition to that, what we do is we have a second phase, another phase, beyond the primary phase of helping people through counselling and other means to get off drugs and alcohol, the initial dependency. But these are broader programs. So there's an educational fund, training for life skills, actually helping people with vocational training. In addition to that, there are a number of micro businesses that are run through the facility and where the individuals who are undergoing rehabilitation can participate in those programs. So for example, there's an agribusiness. Verdun House is on a water table, and so when the crops are grown, etc., there's no use of pesticide uses, it's controlled. So the quality of food is quite exceptional. So there's the agribusiness, they're farm animals, so we're just expanding the chickens. We had 1,000 broilers, now that's going to be expanded to 2,000 thanks to a donation from CIBC, so Canadian Bank in the Caribbean. And then we have a lawn and service, a maintenance service. So the young men and women, they go out and they work, and by doing that, they are involved and actually engaged in getting back into the community, learning how to earn a living appropriately, and also to manage their own lives. So there's a great support structure against international benchmarks. The rehab program has been extremely strong. I met a psychiatrist on one of my last trips down to Barbados, and she works in the emergency room here in Canada, in Toronto, as a psychiatrist supporting those who are brought in because of drug abuse. And she came out to the facility and she was extremely impressed at how the environment there, you feel as if you're in a very deep spiritual place when you walk onto the property. There's a little church next door, and it's an environment where there's a deep sense of spiritual wellness. So this is all part of, the micro businesses are all part of the therapeutic programs, and then also an education fund, also teaching people life skills, but also helping them get work in an appropriate way. So some of the ways that Canada has been helping, so as I mentioned, CIBC had provided us with support in expanding the agribusiness, Royal Bank as well, but also parishioners. So in Canada, a couple of parishes have supported us. We had recently, actually, on our Donate a Barrel program, one of the parishes here in Toronto is donating stationery and various sorts of goods for supporting the office. And then we have another program where we're actually trying to donate another barrel, in this case here, to support the micro business. So a food processor, blender, a machine for helping dehydrate food that's grown on the property, etc. So that's one area that we're expanding. So really feel blessed, very blessed at the support that we've had. If any of this resonates with you, would always love to hear from you as well. But with that, I'd like to say thank you so much again, and sincere appreciation for being welcomed to your community to share with you some of the work that's being done. Thank you.